Tonight, a plane carrying 81 people crashed in Colombia, and we're learning this morning that only 5 of them survived. We'll tell you who was on that flight and what we know so far. Plus,
look forward to being back at it first thing in the morning, and be a number of very important announcements tomorrow.
President-elect Donald Trump expected to make an important announcement this morning. Who he is meeting with today as he picks his Secretary of State. And evacuations overnight at a popular Tennessee destination. How many were told to leave because of the wildfire danger at 642.
Good morning to you at home. It is 6:30 on this Tuesday morning. We're glad you're making Daybreak a part of your day as you get ready to head out the door. Off to work, off to school. We're going to get to those news headlines in just a bit.
Yeah, you got to get through the fog this morning to get to a lot of your destinations, because it is one like this past weekend where even in some places it's down to less than a mile, right?
That was Saturday morning. It was like that as well. Pea soup fog. I don't know why we always compare it to pea soup, because who eats that anymore? But it is pretty bad out there. Visibility way down, less than a half mile in a lot of spots. There's Middleton Sky Cam at the Big Rock interchange. One of the spots we can really show it to you with the glow around some of those street lights. But looks like traffic's moving just fine. Just kind of take your time over river bridges, valley areas that are going to be a little foggy. 49 degrees and a southeast wind at about 7 miles per hour, and quite a bit of cloud cover. I think those stubborn clouds are going to still be stubborn today. We'll get a few peaks of sunshine, but I think more clouds than sun. There's that large area of rainfall actually moved across Gatlinburg in the overnight hours where they're dealing with the wildfires. Now, this is new, and this is a smaller disturbance. It'll move mainly to the south and east of us this afternoon, but southeast Arkansas, we're going to watch out for maybe a few storms there. We're talking about Monticello down to Crossit over to Lake Village, Hamburg maybe, where we could have a few strong storms pop up this afternoon. We'll talk more about that and the timing of that disturbance. For most of us, though, it's a dry forecast and a little bit warmer today at 66 degrees. That southwest wind will be a little bit breezy, 10 to 15, and then tonight just down to the 40s again. But there is colder air on the way. We'll talk about that, too, coming up. Chris?
5:32 is the time. Let's take a look at our Crane Automotive Team traffic report this morning. And this is a time of the morning we typically see a lot of people from the outskirts of the metro, the surrounding counties like Faulkner, Saline, Grant, Jefferson, Garland, Lonoke County, all making their way into the metro. And it looks like right now everybody has a pretty good commute. Despite the fog, everything is green on the major interstates and highways, indicating that it is moving in a smooth flow. Let's take a live look at a couple of our sky cams around the metro. Main Street Bridge in the heart of downtown, all lit up in orange this morning, but it looks like everybody is playing nicely over there. Not a lot of activity. Here's a look at our Big Rock interchange camera. 430 and 630, a little bit more volume starting to build up on 430 southbound over on the left-hand side of your screen. And finally, we are getting some lights at least. This camera was completely blocked out earlier. That is 630 east and westbound next to Arkansas Children's Hospital, and it is still foggy out there, but at least we're seeing some activity move now. We'll get to your news now this morning. Breaking overnight, tragic news out of Colombia this morning. A plane carrying 81 people, including a Brazilian soccer team, has crashed.
Right now, we are getting the first pictures into our newsroom, and just now, the head of the Colombia Civil Aviation Agency saying authorities aren't ruling out the possibility that the chartered flight ran out of fuel before crashing. The Rescue Command Central says the plane was experiencing electrical problems. Authorities say only 5 people survived. Stay with Channel 7 and Good Morning America for the very latest. Happening today, Little Rock police will search for a missing teenager, Evie Stepek.
They're teaming up with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Channel 7's Maureen Glisovic is live at Shalamont Park this morning where the search will start. Good morning, Maureen.
Good morning, guys. Little Rock police have not told us why they decided to search the Shalamont Park area, but here's what we know so far from this. Evie Stepek went missing back in October of 2015. She was last seen from her grandmother's house, leaving here in West Little Rock, and the last person to speak with her, according to police, was her brother. Now, at the time, he had said that his sister sounded disoriented and just seemed lost, didn't know where she was. And so after that, we haven't had many clues come out from the Little Rock Police Department. They have continued to investigate, according to their spokesperson. But, you know, I've spoken to Stepek's mom numerous times over the past year, and she remains hopeful. She has continued to try to find her daughter. Many search groups and search efforts have gone underway here in the area with nothing coming up. And it's something that the family continues to hope for, is to find her. Now, Little Rock police, they are staying tight-lipped on this, not telling us exactly why they are going going to be searching this area. But of course, we're going to continue to be here. We're expected to hear from them at around 9 o'clock today, and we are going to be live streaming that press conference on our Facebook KTV channel 7. So of course, keep it here for the latest updates. But for now, I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
Maureen, thank you. Keep in mind there is a reward being offered in this case. If you know anything about Ebby Stepek's whereabouts, you are asked to call Little Rock Police.
The time now 6:35 this morning. Leslie Marcotte out of prison and at home nearly a year after she was arrested for hindering apprehension in the 2014 beating death of Malik Drummond. A look at the Arkansas Department of Corrections policy shows that Marcotte was released 4 months into her 10-year sentence because of her participation in a boot camp program. According to ADC, inmates are eligible for boot camp for several reasons, including it's the first time they've been incarcerated, if their sentence is 15 years or less, and if it's a non-violent or non-sexual crime. While Marcotte was not convicted of Malik's homicide, the prosecuting attorney says that her direct involvement should have been considered when ADC approved her eligibility.
I have no explanation for it. All I can do is direct you to the person or the agency that made that decision, because it wasn't us, and we certainly would have strenuously objected.
And the Board of Corrections suspended the boot camp program back in August, with the last class set to finish next month. Marcotte is now under the supervision of the Arkansas Community Corrections in Springdale. All right, coming up on Daybreak this morning, wildfire danger. Thousands evacuated overnight because of wildfires spreading in Tennessee.
What popular vacation destinations are in the path? Coming up at 6:43.
We'll also check on the fog that could hinder your commute this morning. And most of us, a dry day, but one section of the state, a severe weather risk. We'll talk about when that could develop in just a little bit.
From the weather team with the most experience, this is Channel 7 meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Coming up, everything you need to know about a slight risk of severe weather for one section of the state later today. But first things first, let's talk about this fog. Still looking for, some Middleton sky cams that give us a good look, because some of them are all fogged up. But that is off of the First Security Bank building. Let's check out Regions. This one, a little tougher to see much of anything, but you can see some of the traffic moving along with some of the street lights and building lights. This is the Big Rock interchange there. Looks like it's getting a little bit worse before it gets better, and I'm guessing no luck at Hot Springs. Yeah, look at that on top of the mountain. Usually we can see a little bit by now. That's Chenal Mountain too. Let's just go back to one where we can see a little bit. There we go. Let's talk about visibility. It has been down to almost 1/10 of a mile in western Arkansas in a few spots. Here's what we're reading right now. And of course, this is the reporting stations. Valley areas, river bridges are going to be worse, but less than a mile visibility here in Little Rock, a half mile in Mena. We've seen some problems across south and eastern Arkansas as well. And I think we'll wake up to both clouds and the fog this morning. So more clouds and sunshine. They're being kind of stubborn as all that moisture continues to move up and over us. But I think for most of us, it's a dry forecast, mainly dry until we get to the weekend, and we got some rain chances back, except for south and eastern Arkansas. And we're going to look at the severe weather risk, which was posted overnight from the Storm Prediction Center. That slight risk, and actually a very small portion of Chico County in that enhanced area. Most of these storms, though, will be affecting Louisiana and Mississippi as this disturbance moves to the south of us today. But you are included in that. We'll look at Futurecast in just a moment for you folks down in the southeast. 49 degrees with cloudy skies and foggy conditions out there, so a little bit cooler than yesterday. You don't have the sun to kind of warm you up in the car and keep you, comfortable. So a jacket is definitely needed this morning with the upper 40s and low 50s. A light jacket, though, I think will be good enough. Benton Bryant at 49, Hot Springs at 48, 43 over around Piercy. Whitehall's at 50 and Pine Bluff's at 56 with DeWitt at 51 over there in Arkansas County. All right, here it is. Now, we could get some sunshine. I think as we go through the day, some dry air tries to work in, so breaks in the clouds and sunshine, but this is the area where we've got the rain chance. Could these showers get a little bit further north? Yeah, but I think the chances are smaller the further north you are in the state. This is about 7 o'clock tonight. We've got some storms down there just across that corner of the state, moving along that frontal boundary, and with that, there could be some gusty winds or hail. I don't think it's a big severe weather risk. I think the risk is higher down to the south of us, Louisiana, and over into Mississippi today. 66, we start out foggy and we end the day partly sunny. The rain chance again, very small, but just that southeast corner. You're in the area of that disturbance. And here's that extended forecast. Colder weather moving in for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and some scattered rain with chilly air over the weekend. All right, time now for your Metro First forecast.
It's no secret that Black Friday deals are the best deals. And during this Black Friday season at Crane Kia, the holidays are on us. Right now, get new Kia Souls starting at just $12,995 and new Optimas at just $18,500. Plus your choice from 0% financing, sales tax paid, or no payments until next year. Get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and the Crane commitment. It feels good to shop holiday savings like these at Crane Kia, North Little Rock and Conway, and craneteam.com.
Fast-moving wildfires are forcing evacuations in the Tennessee mountains overnight.
The dry and windy weather fueling the fires, pushing them into popular tourist locations in two towns. One fire now on the edge of Dollywood, where people are being brought to safety. ABC's Candace Gibson has the latest.
Overnight, fierce flames and blinding smoke racing across the Tennessee mountains.
Oh my God. We need to leave.
The wildfires engulfing the resort towns of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, home to Dolly Parton's theme park Dollywood.
We relocated 19 families that were staying with us in our cabin properties, and then relocated about 50 of our guest room guests here at Dollywood's Dreammore Resort.
Officials ordering everyone to leave, calling the fire unpredictable.
We're dealing with a situation here that is very dynamic. It's changing every moment.
Dramatic video posted online showing people evacuating, the roads barely visible from the smoke and the flames creeping closer to the road. 15-year-old Logan Baker inside a Gatlinburg hotel, stuck because the only road out of town was closed.
We're on the first floor because they had to break the windows on the upper floors because we were suffocating from the smoke, like so bad. Like we were on the ground suffocating. Then, like we were flat because you had to like perfectly flat on the ground, or the smoke was like just too thick to eat. Because we had masks, but it was even too thick for the mask.
Baker says the fire moved faster than anyone expected.
10 minutes after they told us that we had time to evacuate, the fires were coming up over the hills. The flames came up into the parking lot. So then they told us that we had to all stay inside.
The sous chef at that same hotel posting this terrifying video on Facebook, flames surrounding the building as smoke fills the room. He later wrote, "They're all safe." Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
All right, coming up next, we update you on the plane crash in Colombia that killed dozens overnight, including members of a Brazilian soccer team.
New information into our newsroom in just 2 minutes. It is 6:47 and we are continuing to update you this morning on breaking news overnight. If you're just now joining us, a plane crashed in Colombia, killing all but 5 people on board. Colombian officials say a charter plane with a Brazilian soccer team on its way to the finals crashed near Medellin. One of the 5 survivors has just now been identified as one of the members of that soccer team. 76 people died in the crash. Authorities say an electrical failure may be the blame.
Classes resume at Ohio State University this morning after a suspect drove a car into a crowd of classmates and then jumped out, stabbing several students on Monday. Police and the FBI are looking at the suspect's apartment while also looking into his online footprint, including an anti-U.S. rant posted to Facebook just minutes before the attack. Investigators believe the suspect was acting alone, but they're looking into possible terrorist radicalization ties.
Residents of Austin, Arkansas gathered at last night's city council meeting to make their voices heard about the recent police chief firing. The city chose to terminate former chief James Kalesa on November 18th, saying he did not meet the expectations of the job. The mayor still refusing to release specific details on his termination, calling it a personnel matter.
Donald Trump is going to meet with Mitt Romney today as the president-elect decides who will be his Secretary of State. Trump also plans to sit down with Tennessee Senator Bob Corker, the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. VP-elect Mike Pence told media to expect important announcements from the team today.
The latest global test assessments for math and science in 4th and 8th graders finds U.S. student achievement mostly flat, though 8th graders improved their math scores. The U.S. placed 10th in 4th grade science and 8th grade math, 11th in 8th grade science, and 14th in 4th grade math. Singapore topped all the lists.
Little Rock police are now reporting a significant increase in car thefts around the city. They're up 34% compared to last year. More than 1,000 cars stolen so far this year, with 11 just in the past week. Most of those thefts involved unlocked cars, while some involved cars left alone in the morning while they're being warmed up.
Coming up next, a bizarre security scare at a Houston airport. A female passenger opened an emergency exit just after her flight landed. Why she did it, coming up in today's GMA First Look. It is 6:49 and 50 degrees outside.
In this morning's GMA First Look, passengers on this jet were stunned.
Lady on this flight just opened the door and jumped out of the plane.
Landing in Houston from New Orleans, but not at the gate yet. The emergency door is gone, as well as a passenger. Spotted on video obtained by KPRC, she's seen running across the tarmac towards the terminal. But authorities quickly realize this is not a threat, but a medical case.
Psychiatric problem. Airport response team 92.
The woman hospitalized overnight. But this is not the first time. In the past few years, we've seen flight attendants who decided to quit by deploying the emergency chutes and bailing out of the aircraft and their jobs. And we'll have more details coming up at 7 a.m., plus the latest on the airport workers' strike at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. With GMA's First Look, I'm David Curley, ABC News, Washington.
Remember 2007? Smartphones? OMG. 10 years later, nothing's really changed. It's time to snap out of it.
Hello, Moto.
Snap on a JBL speaker. Put a 70-inch screen on a wall. Get a 10 times optical zoom. Get excited, world.
Hello, Moto.
Moto is here. The new Moto Z with Moto Mods. Save up to $400 when you trade in your old phone and switch to Verizon.
La vie est belle. La vie est belle. The eau de parfum, Lancôme.
Available at Macy's, your fragrance destination.
Is really happening, folks. Domino's Pizza in
I
Japan.
don't think it is, Chris.
No, it's not. Appearing to get in the holiday spirit, the pizza chain says it's training reindeer to driving school to deliver pizza in one of Japan's coldest, snowiest regions. Now, this isn't Domino's first time experimenting with delivery methods. Back in March, they tested out pizza delivery drones, which logistically actually seem more likely than anything
If you
like
notice
this.
the smiles on these guys' faces as they're trying to make this work with the reindeer, I think this is a brilliant idea.
Marketing-wise.
Domino's.
Publicity stuff.
You did it because we're
Yeah.
all running this story all across the country, and so now you have Domino's in your mind.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're really
The
trying
pizzas
to
on their
get-
back
yeah,
kind of look
yeah.
like they would be messed up a little bit.
Just a little. They were falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't
That
even
too.
carry them.
Okay, well, if you just can't wait till Christmas and are counting down the days, even the minutes until the holidays are here, you are not alone. Check out this BuzzFeed video now on Facebook, a live countdown to Christmas. This is going to stress a lot of people out who aren't quite ready, who have a lot of planning to do, a lot of gifts to still buy. But for those of you who just can't wait, you're going to love that.
I think I need that.
Yeah, so for our poll question this morning, we're asking you, what is your favorite part about the Christmas holiday season? Decorating the house, the parties, the food, Christmas music, being with family, the gifts. You can tell us on our KATV Facebook page or on Twitter at KATV News.
And right now, being with family, number one, no surprise there. And you can keep voting and be a part of the conversation all morning long on our Facebook and Twitter pages.
Sounds good. Well, not Christmas-like yet out there, but we will talk about some colder temperatures moving in. But first, a slight risk of severe weather for part of the state today. Details straight ahead. Fog lifting just a bit, but be careful. Those foggy-prone areas will be low on visibility today. It's not the rain, it's the fog. There is a small chance of rain. Most of us will have a dry Tuesday with some clouds. But southeast Arkansas, we're going to have a few storms this afternoon kind of cross over there. So we'll keep you updated on that right here on Channel 7. Colder weather to come with highs only in the 50s the rest of the week. Chris?
Melinda, thank you. Let's take a look at that Crane Automotive Team traffic report real quick and show you that we are seeing some backups coming in from Jacksonville this morning on 67, 167 southbound, all the way from the Little Rock Air Force Base exit up to Highway 5 right now. Saline County also seeing some traffic start to build up a little bit once you get over the Pulaski County line into Alexander, and then it will clear up before you get to the outlets and the 430 northbound on-ramp. 30-40 split on 30 westbound, already seeing some traffic slow down just a little bit. That is in between the split and just over the river bridge. It will clear up before you get to the Cantrell Road exit. Here's a live look at the alternate route, the Main Street Bridge, showing traffic start to stack just a little bit coming in from Argenta this morning. It's not fully over the bridge yet, but you're seeing a lot more volume start to make its way into Little Rock at this time. Let's see if we can see anything on our 630 camera. It's still a little too foggy over there, but we can see the Big Rock interchange. That's 430 and 630 this morning, looking very nice at this time.
Okay, if you're needing something to do with all of that leftover turkey, the Game and Fish will be on Good Morning Arkansas this morning making Thanksgiving turkey pot pie. Hey, Good Morning America is next with the very latest on that plane crash out of Columbia and the wildfires that are threatening Gatlinburg and Dollywood in Tennessee. We'll be back here in 25 minutes for more traffic and weather. Have a great day.